Hey Badger fans, excited for this special chance to get to know our brand new women's basketball coach. Please help me welcome Robin Pingeton. Robin, welcome to the Badger family.
Great to be here. Just really excited, feeling really blessed, and just a heart full of gratitude for the opportunity.
Well, I'm excited to get to know you a little bit and have our fans get a chance to know you, so hopefully this will be a fun conversation. Before we get into it, what attracted you to this job of being at Wisconsin?
Well, you know, it's a place that I was somewhat familiar with. I grew up in the Midwest, and so spent a lot of time at Illinois State and recruited this area a lot. And I always thought, you know, that place seems so special. I've heard so many great things about Madison and the community, and certainly the University of Wisconsin. So there's a lot of things. I've always felt like it was a sleeping giant. Just the fact that there's been so much success in the other sports, and I felt like this is a place that you could really do something special. I knew some of your previous coaches here, Jane Albright, Lisa Stone. The coaching world becomes very small. And just from stories from different people, you know, everybody says great things about the university and the community, and we just feel blessed to be a part of it.
Was there something that you maybe learned about Wisconsin, Madison community, or this job during the interview process?
I've learned a lot. You know, it's just been, you know, just so much information. And again, I would say blown away by the facilities, the location, the lakes. You know, my family is pretty outdoorsy. But to me, it's so much bigger than buildings. It's about the people. And I think the people make it a special place. And everybody's that I've crossed paths with, just blown away, the passion here, just the genuineness, the kindness. You know, I'm really fired up to be a part of this community.
You'll find this community loves to support women's sports. We've had great success across many different sports, and you'll find that, I think, as soon as you get your feet wet and get ingratiated into this community. I think one of the reasons that you are a great fit for this job is that you have a history of building programs. And Wisconsin women's basketball is at a point now that needs some help building it and building a foundation. What has that process been like for you, having experience at it, Illinois State and Missouri, maybe even St. Ambrose before that?
Yeah, to me it's not building, it's waking up a sleeping giant. They have had success here. And, you know, we just got to tap back into that. And to me, I really think it's going to take a village, for sure. I mean, the northern point of Wisconsin, of the state, to the southern, to the east, to the west, I'm going to need everybody. And, you know, I'm going to be knocking on a lot of doors and calling a lot of people. And I just think it takes a village. But I think the support here and what I've seen in the other women's sports is pretty special. And I know that when you lock down the borders of a state and you start your recruiting from within, really special things can happen. And so that'll really be our focus point. To me, you know, the community outreach is everything. The 5 core values that I have as a coach: love unconditionally, serve intentionally, live gratefully, pursue excellence, and fall in love with the process. And I think when your fans and your community feel like they're a part of your program and a part of your family, it can be really magical, the things that can happen.
And I know you've had experience with that, of homegrown talent being a part of being building blocks for some of your programs in the past. So you've seen firsthand the impact that that can have with players in Columbia like Sophie Cunningham or the Porter sisters. Mm-hmm. You've seen firsthand what that impact can have, haven't you? Huge
impacts. And again, I think there's so much talent in this state. And, you know, I've already been on the phone a lot with AAU coaches, very successful high school coaches, college coaches, Division I, II, and III, AAU programs. I mean, there's so many resources here. And to me, it's about the relationships. You know, you don't just call these people when you need something. You're in it together. And, you know, there's a pride about what's on the front of the jersey. And we're all representing this state. And so to me, it's grassroots in regards to, it starts all with the relationship building.
Okay, so you talked about you've been on the phone a lot. Let's talk about the last few days since you've taken on this job. Yeah. What has it been like? What are the first few days? How are you spending your time?
On that phone, in the office, on Zoom calls. 2 phones, 2 computers, texting, calling, Zooms. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm having a blast. It's been a lot of positive momentum in that portal right now, and just with the community outreach, it's been really fun. Late nights, early mornings, not enough hours in the day. I go to bed thinking about it, and I can't wait to get up the next day and get started again. So it's been pretty wild, as you can imagine. In addition to that, just really trying to get to know our current players. I think change can be challenging, and just to build relationships with them as well. So it's a lot, but it's so fun, and I'm all about the people, and it's just brick by brick, one day at a time. And like I said, I think there's a lot of positive momentum, and we're going to work really, really hard to build this program back up.
So you're on the phone with athletes. Tell us what kind of athlete is best for your system. What kind of athlete are you looking for?
Yeah, there's some non-negotiables for sure. Culture is really important to me. I want to be surrounded by like-minded people. I spend more time with my players than I probably do my own family. And so you want to be around people that are like-minded in regards to what you're trying to get done. And so and the responsibility, of representing a university like Wisconsin, this community and this state. And then in addition to that, players that have an uncommon work ethic, that want to be in the gym, that we don't start their motors every day, and they're not in the gym because we're telling them to. My goal is to have to talk to this command center and say, hey, we need the gym lights on later than 10 o'clock. How do we make that happen? We've got kids that want to be in the gym. And then, just players that obviously have the skill set to be really, really successful at this level. And to be honest with you, all three of them non-negotiable. I don't care how many stars you have by your name. If you don't, align just with the culture and what we're trying to get together to get done as a family in that locker room, it's probably not going to make sense. And then on the flip side, if you can't play dead in a cowboy movie, but you're the greatest kid, that's not going to work either. So we've got to make sure that we're really transparent in this recruiting process. I don't believe in trying to sell something that we're not. We're really, really genuine in who we are and what we're about, and just non-negotiables on that end. We want talent, but we want culture, young ladies that are excited about representing this university.
Share with us, if you would, your basketball philosophy, your style a little bit. What will we see from a Coach Pingeton team?
Yeah, so, I'm a big believer in you've got to be able to adapt to the players that you have and that you recruit. But again, players that we recruit, the things that we're looking for is we really want to play in transition. We want to play early in the shot clock. We'll run, hopefully, a positionless system where there's a lot of motion and movement. Players that you can take advantage of mismatches. If you have bigger guards and they have a mismatch and can go inside, great. If you've got bigs that can step out, great. We want to move the ball and move people. That's really important. I think skill development's huge. If you're going to run a motion offense, you give up some control as a coach. And so you've got to really be on point with your skill development and really teaching the game, understanding spacing and separation, and being able to read off your screening action. And so that's going to be key for us. Defensively, we'll pick up full court man. Depending upon the athletes that we have, do we have the ability to turn and run and jump? Is it more of an escort? And then we get in the half court and it'll be more scouting report driven. Are we guarding a shooter, a driver? What does that look like? And doing the best that we can to put our players in a position to be successful. I want to be relentless on the board. I want to see a lot of energy on that court. I want to see a lot of passion. We're going to be first to the floor. And you're going to see a lot of high fives and a lot of touches for our team.
Okay, I'm getting fired up. I'm getting excited about this. Let's get to know you. Tell me about your family.
Yeah, so youngest of four. I've got a brother and a sister that live in Cedar Rapids, and then an older sister that lives in Columbia, Missouri. I've got two boys and a very supportive husband. Early in our career, he was very good at what he did. He worked for State Farm and sports marketing, and we had to decide whose career we're going to follow. And he really enjoyed what he did, but he knew I was passionate about what I did. And so, it takes some humility to be able to say, okay, we're going to follow your career. And so I've been really blessed. He's super supportive. He understands kind of the time demands of a Division I coach. Two boys. I've got an 18-year-old Blake that's going to be going off to college this next year, which I am not ready for whatsoever. And then my youngest, Zach, is 13. He was born with Down syndrome. And so my faith got tested, my world got rocked, and kind of went to a dark place for about a week. And then after that, my husband and I took all the information they gave us on Down syndrome and literally threw it in the garbage. And we took over the family motto of no limits. And, from there, we just said no limits for him, for our family, for my career. And we're just going to go all in. And that's what we've done. And little did I know, 13 years ago, I needed him so much more than he needed me. I've learned so much through his set of lenses. I've I've realized that different can be beautiful. And, it's really all about who you become in the chase of life, right? And just learned so many lessons from him. So super blessed with an incredibly supportive family. Blake's a basketball junkie. He's going to be going to McHenry College next year. The day after he was born, he was in my office with me in a pack and play. And so he grew up in the gym. He's been at practices, at halftime, after games, and he's not a very good loser either. I think of what did I model? What kind of behavior did I model all these years when he was watching me? But really supportive family, and I know they're super excited to be a part of this community.
Interests outside of basketball. You've got a unique backstory. Grew up in a farm, is that right? Went to stock car races and helped put on demolition derbies. So maybe that was a past life, but tell us a little bit about what you like to do outside of college basketball.
Yeah, so, growing up, I'm really thankful for the work ethic my parents instilled in me. At the time when you're in junior high and high school, you don't get it. You want to do what everybody else is doing, but really, really grateful for my roots, the growing up in Iowa and the just Midwest values and the work ethic. And so we had our hands in a lot of different things growing up, and so I got exposed to the business side of things, but also the work ethic. And so that was great, and that was definitely in the past. My dad raced stock cars for 50 years, raced dirt track and asphalt, and was just fearless on the racetrack. But now just things that we enjoy. We enjoy the outdoors. We enjoy getting out on the water. Fishing. My husband and son like to hunt a little bit, but golf, there's not a lot of time, honestly, as a coach. It's just 24/7, 365, and that's why I don't even look at this as a job. It's a passion of mine. I feel really blessed to do it. I love to compete, and I love to build relationships.
That's a good segue to my last question. I read this quote from you as I was preparing for this. My goals are to compete for championships, but my passion is to impact people's lives and make a positive influence. Tell me more about what that means to you from the student athletes in your locker room.
Yeah, I just think, with the modern era of college athletics and everything these student athletes go through, there's just a lot on their plate. We cannot even completely relate. We haven't walked a mile in their shoes. But I know with everything that, they have going on right now and the outside noise and the social media, it's just a lot. And so, really just to walk along beside them, lock arms with them on their journey throughout college. I've always said college athletics is a great stepping stone into the real world. You learn so much through sport. Communication, time management, discipline, work ethic. I mean, there's so many things that parallel what we do in life, right? And so an opportunity to empower our student athletes. I want them to walk out of that locker room as strong, confident women going into a work world of whatever it is they want to pursue. But there's challenges along the way. And so, how do you just challenge and support them? I always tell my players, I'm going to challenge you to be the best that you can be on the court, off the court, in your personal life. But man, I'm going to walk alongside you the whole entire way. And so I think that challenge and support, it's got to match each other. And, it's an old cliche, but I truly believe it. Players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And, that scoreboard is really important. And I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to put Wisconsin back on the map. But when that ball quits bouncing, you're going to remember how people treated you and the relationships that were formed. And that's just so important to me. It always has been.
Coach, I can't wait to see you get started. I appreciate you giving us some time and letting us get to know you a little bit. Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to need you and I'm going to need everybody else. We got to do this together. Like I said, it's going to take a village, but I'm fired up. And every day you're going to get the best version of me. We're going to work really hard, me and my staff, and we're fired up. So go Badgers.
On Wisconsin, we say, right?
On
like
Wisconsin.
On
Got
Wisconsin.
it.